stop the bleeding and get themselves to the team fight, or is Carnegie Mellon going to be able to steamroll their way to victory?
So I was looking at something over, because I'm just looking over at the items right now, and it kind of surprises me to see Flaming Bot go for the Spelthi's Edge on Rakan. So we usually see Coin here, but this is a really offensive start here to going for the extra AP. And additionally, we're seeing the Ezreal going for Doran's Blade rather than a more defensive option of, let's say, Doran's Shield, and with the Klepto especially is something that I wasn't expecting out of these players.
Will be very interesting for the side of Moo Cow and Flaming Bot, whether they can get enough poke onto both Law and Flibia. But I think that it's still a nice little touch for them because they know that they're going to be able to poke out Braum. Braum is not very mobile. Sure, he can jump and stand in front of people, but that's the thing. He's going to be eating a lot of the poke coming in, even though it's not very much from Flaming Bot. It's enough to constantly give gold over to the support. Yeah,
we'll see how much damage Guardian is able to mitigate in this lane, because if he's able to, get these small trades, then Guardian will help a lot with some of that initial damage. But if it becomes like an extended fight, where you have Xayah and Rakan constantly hitting and auto-attacking, then Ezreal and Braum are not going to have a good time. There is a Klepto on Ezreal, so he'll be able to get a slightly bit more gold in some areas, but already Flaming Bot landing the first W.
This is what I was talking about before you have the Arcane Shift. It's going to be very easy for Rakan to be able to get the knockup. Kind of surprised to see the Grand Entrance this early on. Not going to have that amount of poke that you'd want to when you go for the Gleaming Quill. And it kind of makes it weird to think now that we have that Spell Thief set going for the Grand Entrance over the Gleaming Quill when you need to get that gold.
Yeah, so once you land that Grand Entrance, you get an auto attack in. That's 2 stacks of Spell Thief sets right there, so maybe a little bit more gold than if you were to just throw out the Quill and get the 1 stack. That, at the very least, that's my best interpretation of it. But already Harbinger showing what the Jax can do with this Conqueror.
Conqueror as well as Corrupting Pot really poking out Kronops to try to punish Ornn in lane when you normally expect the Ornn to be very powerful, as XD having to pop the Ghost to get away from a little bit of poke from both Quicks and Go Next.
The one good thing about having to use a summoner like that is that Ghost is on a shorter cooldown than Flash. However, that is still a summoner down. That is a tool that XD can no longer use to possibly gank a lane. But already we're seeing just Hecarim kind of in a really does need his items before he can start running people over quite literally.
This is what we're talking about. Why he needs level 4 in order to be able to get some of these ganks. So it's smart of Twix and Go Next to be able to get a lot of damage. Harbinger taking heavy amount of damage coming in from Krynopsa. That is what we expect from Ornn in lane.
Yeah, and I think usually we see the Ornn go against a Conqueror champion here, like they're usually the Irelia or the Jax. He tends to struggle a lot, but it looks like right now Krynopsa able to just, deal a little bit more damage, go tit for tat with this Jax, and, I would say the natural regen of Ornn a little bit faster than Jax, forcing Harbinger to back early here, and only able to purchase the longsword in lane.
But does get 3 Corrupting Pot stacks already back, so probably going to look to rinse and repeat, maybe even shove this lane in, which is nice to see that Krynopsa answers that, goes back, gets the Corrupting Pot, and get the Ruby Crystals.
Yeah, and I think the key thing here is that since Harbinger bot lane is winning, he has no worry about Krynopsa making some kind of play down on the bot side and relieving any pressure from here, and he can continue playing this top lane out with the Conqueror. And I think, as we have seen, no jungle ganks so far, but Go Next Fast is perfectly content with that. All of his lanes are winning.
Look at Quicks going in for a little bit of damage, gets the Electrocute proc on Scary Clown. Gotta imagine Quick's probably gonna go for a recall soon just to be able to get a little bit more mana. That way you can get the assassination on the Scary Clown and start snowballing well out of control.
Yeah, and again, we were asking, what is XD going to be doing on this Hecarim? If anything, he's been ganked more often than he's ganked already. And now Scary Clowndale getting caught. Or not even caught.
Tries the Valkyrie away, but here comes the Ignite. That's going to tick down first blood for Quick.
Yeah, and again, as you said, the LeBlanc lane into Corki was going to be really bad for Corki. And that's the first part of it we see right there. The Ignite with the Thunderlords as well on LeBlanc is just doing too much damage to Scary Clown. And getting caught again by the chains is the main thing there. Despite the fact that LeBlanc has a lot of poke damage with the QW, the main thing is that if you get caught by her chains, you're pretty much dead, because it gives her time to do another combo.
Scary Clown, I think, got baited in. Saw the level advantage. It was level 4 for Quicks and decided he wanted to get a little bit of poke, but this is the LeBlanc we're talking about. That's a lot of damage coming in early on and unfortunately paid the price.
Yeah, and with no barrier well to save him there, looking to be going topside to go for a gank on Harbinger. Not really, wasn't expecting this, but a simple ward jump away is going to get Harbinger out safely with no summoners burnt either.
No, unfortunately, Scary Clown, it's still not 7 minutes, doesn't have the package to go for the full roam that you want from Corki. But also it means that Scary Clown sacrificed a lot of experience in mid to Quicks. Quicks just content to keep getting this advantage, has level 6, and might actually look for another kill onto Scary Clown.
As I was saying though, Xin Zhao, kind of risky for him to be trying to make this early of a dive, especially without any support from a Galio or even like a tank like a Rakan is not quite as durable to tank the turret. So not gonna opt for a dive there. He's content with just having his lane ahead, but the gold lead really isn't actually that much in favor of Carnegie Mellon. They only are above by around 200 gold.
Looking mid lane, that was a really great positioning coming in from Quicks. Knowing that there's a possibility for Hecarim to go for a kill and a gank in mid lane, played towards the bot side because he knew that's where Xin Zhao was, and XD was so worried that Xin Zhao was on Raptors, possibly looking to have a counter gank, that XD never actually went for the gank and had to back off, sacrificing so much time and letting GoNext get an even bigger advantage. Now, Quicks putting that damage onto Scary Clown.
Yeah, it's really bad for Scary Clown here if after every LeBlanc combo he's forced to back because he doesn't have the health or the mana to stay in lane. And that gives Quicks the opportunity to not only farm up more gold, but to even possibly roam to other lanes if need be. It looks like all of our lanes right now are perfectly fine without it. But then now that comes as a question is where has XD been his entire laning phase? It's the second round of buffs now, and XD, as we've seen, hasn't really gone for a gank on anyone aside from a small visit topside.
A lot of vision on the top side that indicates that XD has been trying to make a play onto Harbinger, trying to make a play onto Quicks, but hasn't been able to find that way. And with GoNext already being spotted out, Harbinger down to 50% health, I don't think you want to go for that fight, even if you think it's an Ornn. He does a lot of damage early on.
Hecarim is nearby and Ornn ult is up. However, it looks like they're not confident enough to try to go for this. And yeah, it looks like they're just gonna let it be, which I think is kind of risky because, University of Massachusetts needs to be start making some plays here. I don't think they can be content with just letting the farm game go through because they're losing it pretty heavily.
They have to find some sort of pick somewhere now. They have to either maybe get the pick onto Quicks, which is difficult because it is a LeBlanc, or better yet, go towards the spot lane. Try to see if you can pick off Moo Cow. He's only level 5 still, about to get the Feather Storm, but it could be better to at least do something than just be so passive and not be able to keep up with the scaling that's coming in from GoNext.
Yeah, I think at this point now, it's perhaps University of Massachusetts think that the Hecarim versus... Ooh, that was a new W. Anyway, University of Massachusetts versus Carnegie Mellon. I think the Hecarim matchup into the Xin Zhao is... I think they're kind of underestimating the power that Xin Zhao really has because while Hecarim is a great initiator, Xin Zhao is a great initiator and is also a really good tank in that same situation.
Harbinger able to get the stun on to Krenopsa in the top lane. But the Tiamat completed for Harbinger. This is going to be a very difficult lane because Krenopsa didn't go for the Balmy Cinder, which you sometimes see into these matchups that try to split push, try to just shove you in. And Krenopsa is going to constantly find himself underneath the turret and possibly going to lose the turret if there's no answer from XD.
The Bambi Cinders on Ornn in this situation would actually kind of make it hard for him to perfectly hit a CS because of how he was trying to hit unless on the turret. In a situation where he was ahead, it would be good for pushing, and that's exactly what the Tiamat does here, is that it allows Harbinger to keep on pushing this wave incredibly hard, and then force Krenopsa into these fights into minion waves. So, this is kind of, you're playing the standard top lane at this point, you shove the wave as hard as you can, and then you force the minion wave to go into turret, which slowly denies gold to Krenopsa, and now, again, we're trying to see where's the response from University of Massachusetts. It looks like Scary Clown just is playing this oh no, LeBlanc is coming in, time to run game.
But he has gotten a Hex Drinker. So this Corki matchup, we're worried about him. He did die to first blood until LeBlanc. Going to be a little bit better, going to be able to survive a little bit more, but does delay the Triforce.
Yeah, and the Triforce on Corki is such a huge item spike. Being delayed by the Hex Drinker is going to be huge, especially if fights should be starting now. We're already at the 10-minute game and we only had one kill.
This is where I'm expecting to. You heard that call. The package has been picked up by Scary Clown, so there is good potential for a roam with XD into one of these lanes. Top lane is my focus.
Yeah, at this point now the game is just sitting on a knife's edge, and we're just waiting on one team to just go in. It looks like Krenopsa going with the call of the Forge God.
So I was expecting to look top lane. Good dodge coming in from Harbinger, but he doesn't have enough damage to dodge away from XD. Go next a little bit too late. They do lose the top laner.
And kind of that risk that you take with Jax is obviously with the Tiamat start first, you don't have any tankiness to work with. You have a lot of damage, but in a 2v1, that damage is going to help you from the Hecarim and now also the Ornn just coming in and coming in and kill you, really. Thankfully, Go Next is here to clear the minion wave, but it might be...
Actually, it could be pretty bad. You get the flash, here's the package with the fear behind it. They have a little bit of damage. They need to get one more auto, but the minions... That now teleport coming in from Harbinger as well as Quick trying to see if they can show up into the lane. They do steer away the 3 members from the University of Massachusetts, but they do get 2 kills after a very long time.
And this is what we wanted to see from University of Massachusetts in their last game. We wanted to see XD going in and making calls saying, we're going for top lane. We're going to dive them too, because Scary Clown was able to come in and help them with that as well. And I think it's also a part of it was that the champion he picked this time helps to actually allow that to happen. The Corki with the package, as opposed to the Orianna the previous game we saw them.
Plus, they have a lot of vision control on the top side of the snap. Just now getting cleared away by Harbinger. Actually, Harbinger does get the stun onto XD. A little surprised to see that he didn't go for the fight, probably because he didn't know where Krynopsa or Scared Clown were. With Scared Clown having just shown mid.
You were talking about how this Rakan build as well. Looking at the bot lane, it was such an aggressive Rakan going with the Spellthief's Edge. He's maxing the Quill first on in his skill build. So that's a, usually the people go for the Grand Entrance for the cooldown and everything like that. He's going for Quill. That's for more HP and also just more overall poke damage. So he's really making sure this Ezreal doesn't have a fun lane.
Harbinger and Krynopsa fighting just outside of the turret aggro range. Harbinger's got to be a little careful. Took a little bit of aggro after going in range trying to get a minion with the Tiamat.
And I think at that point now Krynopsa is sitting pretty well. Does have the Righteous Glory already completed. And, going with the Hecarim, both of these champions now just going to be running in and trying to get initiations for their team. Interesting first buy for an Ornn, but what matters is, are they going to use it? And I think that's kind of the key thing here. If they're in the laning phase, we had pretty much a complete reset after that dive in the top side.
But the one thing that has happened is an objective has been taken. Second one of the game going over to Carnegie Mellon and with the Rift Herald in their pocket now. They can easily look to see if they can make a siege happen in mid lane with Scary Clown constantly pressured away by Quicks, that maybe they just want to take down the tier 2 and open a tier 1 and open up the jungle of XD.
Scary Clown managed to dodge chain, and again, as long as he can dodge the chain, he doesn't have to go back, which is then the main thing here in the Corki lane. So at the moment now, it looks like UMass just want to keep essentially farming up and just letting their kind of scaling champions get to their item spikes. And the primary one here is Scary Clown to Triforce, and also same with Law on Ezreal here. We haven't really been seeing a lot down in this bot lane, and a lot of that just has to do with just nothing's really been happening.
Well, if you're on the side of Carnegie Mellon, this is the time they need to pull the trigger, because they have the item spikes. They got the Ludens, they got the Storm Razors. They're waiting until Scary Clown and Law can scale up for University of Massachusetts, so if you're Carnegie Mellon, this is the time to punish.
And I'm kind of curious as to how much gold really this Ezreal is able to accumulate off of this Kleptomancy, because while there is a around 10 to 12 CS deficiency here for the Ezreal, the Kleptomancy might have actually been able to kind of even that out a little bit, but the Rift Herald being dropped down bottom means the Harbinger is alone in the top side.
Alone, cut away from everyone else. They're trying to see if they can get the decimating charge, but he ward hops over the wall. Here comes the onslaught of shadows alongside the call of the Forge God. Does not connect on the Harbinger. He survives, and his team is pushing bot lane with the Rift Herald.
Almost clipped on, but looks like in the bot side, another dive as well.
Oh, they're looking to get onto the wall. The quickness comes in. They get Flibia a little bit of damage, but he is Braum, so he's pretty tanky. True Shot Barrage, tried to see if it can chip away. It flashes out from Go Next, but they're able to finish off Flaming Butt. Not able to get the knockup coming in from Krynopsa, but it doesn't matter because they already got Xin Zhao and Moo Cow running away from Ornn. Will get the root. Does run away from the battle, but man, did they sacrifice a lot just to get the damage on the tier 2.
I think he at least able to get the tower, but looks like Scary Clown also here to get for Moo Cow. He's going to finish him off, gets a flash.
Oh, he's got the root as well. Flash away. That's going to be the missile barrage being able to pick up the kill, but Harbinger, left alone on the top side of the map, is going to be able to at least get one tier 1 turret.
And Quicks as well might be able to get the mid turret as here. Harbinger not able to quite finish off the top lane, but did chunk it down to a significant amount. And, that fight might have been Carnegie Mellon pulling it a little bit too quickly there. They had the they were going in for the incredible high dive, but they focused the Braum, which, as you mentioned, super tanky, and also with the Unbreakable, gonna get a lot of damage from both Rakan and the Zaya. And then Ezreal, obviously, with the S-Flux, you know, without any super hard CC, he's gonna be able to get out of there with no problems.
However, look at how much they were able to get on the map. Well, it was very messy from them. They were behind in gold first, and then they get themselves 2 turrets, almost get 4, because look at how low they got the tier 1 on top and the tier 2 in bot, then are able to turn their attention onto the second Cloud Drake of the game.
Yeah, so at the very least, looks like Carnegie Mellon is much better at securing these objectives because of the way that their lanes have been going. But now the question is that it looks like in terms of a fight, UMass might be a little bit stronger because of the current state of their abilities and also their items at the moment, because Harbinger right now has just a Phage and a Tiamat, whereas at the least everyone on the side of UMass going for a Triforce has at least 1 or 2 components. So we have 3 Triforces, or possibly an Iceborne Gauntlet coming out for Law. But at the very least, we know that Hecarim and Corki are also going for their own Triforce.
Flaming Bot and Moo Cow decide to show up in the top lane to try to help out Harbinger just a little bit. Take a little bit of that pressure off as Quick looks for the pick on Scary Clown. Runs right into the waiting hands of Go Next with the Ignite shutdown for Xin Zhao.
And with the mid tower gone there for University of Massachusetts, I think Scary Clown was just way too far out with not enough vision of the enemy team. And then Quick just says, hey, like, how's it going? And just baits Scary Clown right into Go Next fast. So whether or not it was just a stroke of luck that Go Next was going in that direction, or, you know, that kind of communication, nonetheless, Scary Clown got caught.
Well, not to mention, there's no tier 1 anymore. There's nowhere for Scary Clown to run away to. There's no turret for safety. Quicks could have chased forever. The best bet was trying to bait and say that there was someone waiting in the jungle. Unfortunately, didn't realize that the person waiting in the jungle was of the enemy team.
Yeah, it looks like right now a top lane dive possibly being set up here by Carnegie Mellon. They're going to actually say, forget it, because they see the Hecarim is nearby. But then also now we're looking at the 1v1 over at the right now the Ornn and Jax are going to be in such an awkward position, because, you know, we're talking about how Jax is just going to keep pushing on and on, but it seems like right now Karnatsa way stronger than Jax.
And I believe we do have a replay of that bot lane. Go back into the game. We actually see the aggression coming back in onto Harbinger. Was able to get the slow with the Righteous Glory. Harbinger's pretty tanky, using the passive, using the ult, jumps away, but here comes XD. He's looking to chase him down and slice him apart.
With the Predator and the Hecarim E giving him so much movement speed, there is no way Jax is running out of there without something going wrong. And then the top side, another fight's happening.
Here comes the TP, but Go Next already looking for the dive. Gets the knockback onto Flavia, flashback away, back to your team. But the quickness, trying to see if they can connect on Scary Clown. And again, another flake. This time it's Quick being able to assassinate Flavia, forcing away Law and Scary Clown. They know they can't fight this anymore.
With the Rakan ulti, he didn't have the quickness to follow up here, and now Law getting caught out using the stopwatch.
Has to use the stopwatch, gets knocked up. Flaming Bot was able to pick up the kill. Scary Clown doesn't have enough mana to be able to fight against 4 members strong of Carnegie Mellon. Even though it looked like it was good from the side of University of Massachusetts, when they get the turret, they lose 1 in top lane and lose 2 members.
And at that point, it's just the team fight. It's just that because University of Massachusetts did not have the members there to react to it, you know, the TP did come from Scary Clown, but what they really probably needed was the Ornn to really CC and hold down the team members diving so quickly. And Quicks just finding the opportune moments to get in there and just start finishing off low-level targets. Sylvia had survived for a good amount of time, but look at his current build right now. He's building all pretty much full armor at this point, at the moment, with the Knights of Al coming up. So he's not going to have any MR, and he's going to die so quickly to the LeBlanc.
This is a problem we kind of saw in the last game when we saw so much armor picked up by Ornn. It's the same kind of story here for Flivia. Not going to be able to survive against Quick. Just looks for the ethereal chains, gets the connection, grand entrance to help Moo Cow pick up the first kill.
And a little bit there is just, you know, when you're a support and your team is pretty far behind, you can't be walking alone to get vision. You have to go with at least 1 or 2 members of your team. Otherwise, this happens. You have LeBlanc coming in and just picking up an easy kill.
He takes a lot of damage from Quick, tries to have by Carnegie Mellon.
And with this LeBlanc pick from Quick, like, he's done so much in terms of just catching people just completely, not even unaware. It's just they weren't expecting a LeBlanc to be in that scenario, in that situation. And University of Massachusetts didn't have a response to it. The XD, he tried going in for, you know, kind of, I guess, turn onto LeBlanc, but he ended up getting hit by the chains. And as we said, when you get hit by the chains, you pretty much sealed your doom against LeBlanc.
Especially when you don't have any MR at all. It's making it so that you can't actually fight into this. Now let's take a look at that replay from that last fight.
As you said, you know, right there when Hecarim does get caught, he uses the ult to get out, but goes back in onto the Xin Zhao, which, you know, as we said, it's just kind of an interesting situation there. He probably could have gotten out if he just ran away, but maybe wanted to keep Xin Zhao within that area and try to kind of bait him in for a fight. Nonetheless, the University of Massachusetts just are playing these fights. Like, they're not choosing them, and they're also playing them really badly.
Plus, look at the builds coming in. That is a Triforce for XD. He's gone for more of the burst damage on Hecarim, which means you cannot survive against Quake. The only one who has MR on that team is Scary Clown with the Hex Shrinker.
And also, he hasn't even gotten an upgrade for his jungle item either. He looks to be maybe going for Cinder Hulk here, but I think at this point in time, being a little bit more tankier would benefit his team better than him having more damage.
Completely agree. They need someone who can absorb some of the pressure, because even Crinopsa can't absorb that pressure from Quicks. That's so much damage that's potentially coming in from this LeBlanc. 1Q, 1E, Libya's taken down to almost 50%.
Yeah, and he now is in a really awkward position because he's already building the Knight's Vow. If he doesn't finish it, he's going to be pretty much short on having a completed item. And if he tries to go for, let's say, like the Locket or an Aegis, like, he's just going to be so far behind and so starved for gold as the support. And meanwhile, while all this is happening, Carnegie Mellon pick up a third Windrake.
Third Windrake. Third Cloud going over to Carnegie Mellon. As a Hecarim player, that has to feel really bad.
And we were talking about the early game is what was XD trying to do while his team was so far behind. Every single one of his lanes were, in a sense, getting pushed in and, like, in a sense, struggling. And yet, XD really didn't get anything out of that.
Now, Carnegie Mellon looking to continue the siege. Even though the Baron's up, they don't care. They want to take down the tier 2 with how low it is. It's forcing a lot of pressure from University of Massachusetts, so maybe that they can get a little bit more vision control on the bottom side of the map. But really, if you're Carnegie Mellon, you need to start putting that control, that pressure that you've gained on the map around the Baron pit, because you haven't gotten that much control on the top side. Sure, Harbinger is going to be able to get this turret more than likely, but you need to be able to start setting up for Baron.
They're just pretty much making use of the fact that their solo laners are so much stronger than their counterparts in terms of pushing that, you know, they leave Harbinger to whatever lane they want, and right now at the moment it is top side because there was no one there. And now on the bot side, you know, they're pressuring it, but whenever Quicks has a chance, he just goes up back to mid lane, pushes the wave in and pushes the turret. So right now, Carnegie Mellon just constantly playing this 1-1-3, really, rather than a 1-3-1. And the main issue now for University of Massachusetts, they don't really have anything to counteract to it. Their Corki and Ornn is pretty much their primary initiators from incredibly far away that's safe. And in the XD, I feel like I haven't really seen him do a whole lot this game other than get caught.
He had one good play earlier, you're right, he needs to be able to do something, but that problem right now for University of Massachusetts is the lack of wave clear that they seem to have. The only one who's really providing that is Scary Clown, and he's caught in a hard place where he has to go mid, bot, mid, top. He's constantly having to move around. Just now getting the package for that movement speed means that now he can answer it, but before he was losing a lot of potential CS, a lot of potential XP, and Quicks is constantly scaling up.
And you were talking about how Carnegie Mellon needed to get vision around the Baron. They've already started on that. Total of 6 control wards being purchased by the members of Carnegie Mellon already. And they're just ready to just start getting vision on this top side. There's nothing left for them to take. And they've now resorted back to the normal 1-3-1. Whereas it looks like now Quicks also going to be helping along with the red trinket.
Well as having a full item lead for Quicks over Scary Clown, since Scary Clown had to go for the Hex Shrinker, put him in a bad position. Marlenomicon, Luden's Echo, as well as the needlessly large rod already completed for LeBlanc, which means that we thought the assassination was good before. She's constantly going to look for XD, constantly going to look for Law to make sure that they can easily then turn for the Baron.
And the worst case, in the worst situation here for University of Massachusetts is that if LeBlanc jumps on them, there's no way for them to really punish it. LeBlanc can just jump in with the distortion and jump out as if nothing happened, and it's from a safe enough range that University of Massachusetts can't really jump on her when she jumps back. So at this point now, it's all a matter of vision. If they need to secure vision, they need to get back they need to take down these 3 control wards in the jungle.
Libya found out by Go Next, has to flash away to the blast cone, but doesn't actually go anywhere. Great cancellation by Go Next, but not going to actually turn for the potential kill because they already saw that Law and Scary Clan were rotating. At
the very least, Libya was able to get Flaming Bot and Go Next away from him, which is I think the main reason that he hit that blast cone. But now Carnegie Mellon going for the Baron and Scary Clown getting caught.
Scary Clown taking a lot of damage. That's even with the Hex Shrinker. Just needs one more odd before the Ignite to burn him down low. Trying to see the quick. The Predator from Hecarim does scare away Carnegie Mellon. And Carnegie Mellon saying, we got your mid laner. We're now going to turn our attention back to the Baron.
Yeah, and with that, they do stop the Baron temporarily, but how much do they burn? They still don't have the Ornn available to really abuse the pit. And now, ooh, XD gets caught again.
And they found XD, forced to use the Onslaught of Shadows. Here comes the quickness on the two team members. That's the Law and XD. The Law has to flash away. Here comes the Ornn Horn into the backline. Can Chronopsa be the team? Gets a little bit of damage into the backline, but now he's done away from the rest of the team. Gets hit up by the Flame Caller and shut down by Go Next, with Flibia being the next target. Harbinger showing up to the battle. A lot of damage coming in from LeBlanc, but not enough to finally find the kill on Braum.
And the main thing there is that with Harbinger TPing in and going on to Law, the Ezreal was pretty much out of that fight for the most part. The damage was coming pretty much from Krynopsa, and they was able to actually finish off Flaming Bot. But that's a total of 3 for 1 in favor of Carnegie Mellon. They might be overstating with this Baron though.
They have to burn it down pretty quick. Here comes Scary's Clown as well as Law. Can they get it? They've decided to full-on commit to it. They might have to flash over the wall. Go Next jumps on Scary's Clown, trying to see if he can absorb a little bit of pressure with the Winter's Bite connecting on him. Just needs a couple more hits. Missile Barrage, that's a Missile Barrage. Trying to see if they can get on to Go Next, but he's running away as best he can, using the minions to his advantage. He's got the turret here as well.
Someone hit him!
Dodging away! No one's been able to hit him with a skill shot for a while until finally Scary Clown, but look at how much time he burned from University of Massachusetts.
That 471 move speed on Go Next, he was going as fast as his legs could, and just like deciding who wants to get the kill. They couldn't decide to give it to Scary Clown or to Law, and it was just a whole mess of a fight.
I don't even think it was deciding who got the kill. It was just the fact that Go Next was dodging the skill shots the best he could.
Just the happy feet coming in for him there. And now with the Baron coming in for Carnegie Mellon is, what does University of Massachusetts do? They don't really have the single target pick effectiveness of, let's say, a Nocturne, and with this Hecarim pick. And again, the last time we saw the Hecarim use his ulti, it was to run away.
Every time we've seen it, except for the first time it was used, has been to try to get away from Quicks. And that is the scary part. The fact that they cannot stop this LeBlanc from being able to assassinate the backline. And now Harbinger going to be able to completely own the side lanes. Titanic Hydra with the Triforce completed, Baron buff on top of his head. This Jax is going to be unstoppable.
And the main thing is that because Carnegie Mellon does not really want 5v5 fights, whereas the team composition of University of Massachusetts, they do. The Ornn ult can help follow up with the Hecarim ult, as long with the Braum ult as well. All this AoE CC that they have is great for a 5v5 team fight, but it doesn't really help if the solo laners aren't able to match their counterparts, and they can just split push and force a 1-3-1.
Fourth dragon picked up for the side of Carnegie Mellon. They got the 3 Cloud Drakes as well as 1 Ocean Drake. And a pretty big minion wave in the bot lane, as they're all looking to see if they can take down this tier 2. They already got the top lane tier 2. They're now looking to see if they can track into the base.
And Night Vow has finally been completed on the side of Flibia, and it looks like to be probably building the locket now, but it costs a lot of gold, and for a support, that doesn't come by very often.
Harbinger onto the inhibitor. Look at how much damage he did to that turret already. Scary Clown trying to see if they can turn it back around, but Harbinger's not afraid of this battle. That is a lot of damage coming in. Onslaught of Shadows finally used, but it's going to be a slam down coming in. Kill used his own life, so his team can now push into the base.
And now without the Corki, does University of Massachusetts have the ability to stop this push coming in on the bot side? These Baron minions are whittling this turret down already at half HP, and with the Ezreal throwing out Mystic Shots, trying to get some poke down, he has to land them.
They don't have wave clear without Corki. That's the problem. He had to use the True Shot Barrage just to get rid of some of the minions, and now all he had to do is wait it out, wait for the minions to come back in, and they should be able to open up this inhibitor turret.
That LeBlanc combo almost did more than 25% of Orange HP. The tank on this team for University of Massachusetts, that does not bode well for the Squishies, who have significantly less HP and resistances.
Exactly, and this is what we were talking about with Krynopsa going for more armor, more health. There is no magic resist in that build still for Ornn.
Yeah, going for now the Iceborne Gauntlet, which is an incredibly offensive item here for him to build as an Ornn. The Frozen Heart would perform this around the same kind of role and provide them more defenses against this Jax, the Xin Zhao, and the Zaya, or even an MR item, a Spectre's Cowl, would have been able to, negate a lot of this LeBlanc damage. But, LeBlanc now with the Sorc Shoes completed, the Morel Namicon, and the Void Staff coming up as well. She's pretty much doing true damage to everyone on University of Massachusetts.
Looking dire for the University of Massachusetts. Not only do they not have a tank, they only have one inhibitor turret that remains, and that was taken so low by Harbinger. With Go next in the top lane, they might be able to actually get one more turret on the side of Carnegie Mellon before they look to try to secure vision for the Baron.
This GA now being completed on Go Next Fast is pretty much he's pretty much now the initiation. He's going in, he's got the GA, so he doesn't mind dying for it. And if he can keep these, keep the champions of University of Massachusetts, on him, then that gives his team the ability to go return and go back on the University of Massachusetts. So this GA is going to play an important part, I think, in the next team fight.
Look at how these True Shot barrages have to be constantly used just to clear out the minions because they lack so much clear. Now they're trying to turn their attention onto Harbinger, but this could be the call for Carnegie Mellon to open up that last inhibitor turret. That's a lot being focused onto Harbinger. He dodges away from the package here. Get a little bit of fear, but he's still doing a great job of dodging away, and his team is opening up the base of Massachusetts. Massachusetts still never were able to find the kill, and they got the fear, they got the charm onto Scary Clown as well as the XC. They finished them off, the killing spree for Moo Cow. You gotta bet that Carnegie Mellon are gonna be happy with this. They're gonna look for a couple more kills here and there before they look to take out the game. Granata does do a little bit of damage to try to straighten it around, but the heal will delay the inevitable. It's Libya now gonna tank up everything. Juan's gone. The team of University of Massachusetts is out of there, and Carnegie Mellon, they're looking like they can end the game.
2 ults burned to try to get this Jax, and they don't even get him after all of that. He just jumps away using that word hop. Beautiful there by Harbinger. And that, again, as you said, gives his team the opportunity to push down mid lane, and then when the fight does start, there's 2 massive ultimates down on the side of University of Massachusetts. There's no way that they're going to be able to beat Carnegie Mellon.